Hello and welcome everybody from Malaysia. Now we are on the island of Borneo, which is the third largest island of the world. More concretely, this is the state called Sarawak. It has a lot of national treasures, national parks, and well, of course we will visit there, and we'll also watch the sightseeing attractions of Sarawak's capital, which is Kuching. It's not a big city, 235,000 people are living here. I also wanted to tell the story how I arrived here. I had a direct flight from Kuala Lumpur to Kuching, and I was really surprised because I needed to go through the immigration control, and not only me, also the Malaysian citizens. So this is mandatory if you are coming from the peninsular Malaysia to the island of Borneo, to Sarawak. Then you need to proceed through the immigration control, and they also stamped my passport, so that was really surprising for me. Well, some interesting details about Sarawak. It was the state which had a white Raja. Raja is like a royal title used in Southeast Asia and also in India. Well, Sarawak was part of the Sultanate of Brunei from the 14th century, and Kuching was established like in 1827 by a representative of the Sultan of Brunei, a Raja, but he actually ceded this territory to an English adventurer called James Brooke, and well, this James Brooke helped this Brunei Raja to fight a rebellion, and because of that the Brunei Raja promised him that he will get the territory of Sarawak. The Sultan of Brunei approved the governorship of James Brooke, but he also needed to pay an annual fee of $2,500. Well, of course James Brooke accepted this, and in 1841 the Brooke government was established here, and he was the White Raja of Sarawak. That's the history of this place. James Brooke performed a lot of developments in this region, including the improvement of the healthcare, construction of a hospital, of a prison, and also construction of a fortress. Well, in 1941 the Brooke family celebrated 100 years of governorship in Sarawak, but they couldn't celebrate long because in 1942 the Japanese army invaded also Sarawak, and they took control here. And as we know, in 1945 the Second World War ended and the Japanese surrendered. This is the year when they left Sarawak. In 1946 the Brooke family ceded Sarawak to the British Crown, and well, later when Malaysia gained its independence, Sarawak also joined Malaysia. This is a traditional wooden boat, Malay and Chinese wooden boat called tambang or sampan. It's a flat-bottomed wooden boat. This is carrying the passengers between the two banks of the Sarawak River. There is no timetable for that actually, so these boats are just going from one side to the other when there are enough passengers, and it's just one ringgit to go to the other side. Kuching has a tropical rainforest climate, and it's the wettest populated area of Malaysia, with an average of 247 rainy days in a year, and it receives only 5 hours of sunshine in a day. Some more interesting details about Sarawak. It's the only state in Malaysia where the Christians outnumber the Muslims. Its capital is Kuching, and that's the only city in Malaysia which is administered by 2 mayors, because the city is split in Kuching North and Kuching South, and each part has its own mayor. A dialect of Malay language is spoken in Sarawak, which is called Bahasa Sarawak, or the Sarawakian Malay language, is the subset of Malay. Kuching was granted city status in 1988. So let's start our sightseeing walk. We will visit the attractions of Kuching, and we will also go into nature, discover these amazing natural parks in Borneo, and we'll also go into the jungle. In addition to many tribal communities, also a lot of Chinese people are living here in Kuching, and because of that you can find some Chinese temples. And behind me you can see the Tua Pek Kong temple, which is the oldest one in Sarawak, It was built in 1770 and it survived the Great Fire of Kuching in 1884 and also the bombings of the Japanese army during the Second World War. So that is like a symbolic meaning for the Chinese community that this temple survives everything. Tuapek Kong is the Chinese god of prosperity. This is the flag of the state Sarawak. Now I will tell you the legend of the Hong San Si temple, which was constructed around 1840. James Brooke, the first white Raja, was walking around here and he saw a little boy playing with water, and he asked the local Chinese people who was this boy, and they were very surprised because they didn't know about a boy at all, and they said it's no boy living here, and they were thinking that this is little boy deity in the Chinese religion, who is called Kong Tek Chon Ong, and well, the English James Brooke was very amused about this story, that it's a little boy deity, and he said that a water hydrant must be built at this temple, and also if the Chinese people need some financial support in order to finish the constructions of the temple, they can count on the Raja, and he will send them the money. So this was the legend of this event. And well, later in 1884, when the big fire of Kuching took place, local people saw again this little boy deity, and he made signals for the locals to hide from the fire and to start to sprinkle water on the fire, because the fire is approaching their homes. So and also prayed for the rain, and well, this was successful because it started to rain, and somehow locals could stop this very big fire in the city. So yeah, the locals are very grateful for this Kong Tek Chon Ong, the little boy deity. This is the temple's deity, of course, and there's also a festival when the locals wear dragon and lion dresses, and they walk through the city and come to this temple. It's like a place of pilgrimage that time. There we can see in the middle the boy deity, the boy god. This is the square tower, built in 1879, like a fortress. Typical British style. This is the building of the Sarawak State Assembly. Very beautiful modern style building. And there is also a very beautiful bridge. An alternative if you don't want to take that traditional boat. There are not many bridges across the Sarawak River, so you either cross here in the city center or you take the boat. Astana means in Malay language palace. This palace was built in 1870 by the second White Raja, Charles Brooke, as a wedding gift to his wife, Margaret Alice Lily de Wind. The residence was originally 3 separate buildings, with each connected to other by short and narrow passageways. The Astana has since undergone major renovations and alterations, befitting it as the official residence of the governor of Sarawak. As this is an official state residence, visitors are not permitted to enter the Astana grounds, so yeah, we just need to admire it from distance. Very beautiful historical building. This old fort was constructed in 1879 by Charles Brooke, second Raja of Sarawak. It is named after his wife, Margaret Alice Lily de Wind. The fortification's purpose was to protect Kuching against the pirate attacks, and it's obvious it is constructed in British style. It also served as a police museum, but now we can find inside the gallery an exhibition about the life of the Brookes. That's the Brookes Gallery. Kuching waterfront is an amazing place to hang out. Now it is very chill because it's Monday 2 p.m. and not so many people are here, but usually it's very crowded in the evening and in the afternoon. You can also find a lot of food stalls here and fresh juices and well, actually everything. So a lot of locals hang out here, and most of the tourists come here to have some food. And you can also rent a boat if you want to take a cruise on the Sarawak River. You can choose if you want that traditional wooden boat. Well, if you consider it dangerous, then you can also take a normal ship. I actually saw there a sightseeing ship, which was of course more expensive, but well, it's up to you which one would you like to choose. I recommend, of course, the traditional boat. I don't think it's dangerous, but you can also consider that the river is full of crocodiles, so this is the Jalan Carpenter. It's famous for the Chinese restaurants which you can find here, but there are also some old buildings, so it's good to take a look, and also a good place to eat. Sarawak is famous for food, also it's a food destination for tourists. You can find moreover Chinese food here, but if you walk in other areas, then I recommend the Sarawak laksa, which is a rice noodle soup with shrimp. Very, very tasty. I really love it. So Jalan means street in Malay language. And this is like a Chinatown of Kuching. So at the beginning of the street we can also find the Chinatown gate, similar to the gate of Petaling Street in Kuala Lumpur, and similar to the Chinatown gate in Bangkok. A lot of Chinese restaurants here. So this is the Chinatown gate which I just mentioned, the Harmony Arch, the entrance of the Jalan Carpenter. Also a very old building, which was actually the old courthouse of Sarawak, is now the Sarawak tourist complex. And here we can also find the memorial of the Governor Charles Brooke. This is the round tower. It was constructed in 1886. And it was actually a fortress in the beginning, but after they turned it into a pharmacy. This is the Jalan main bazaar, so actually the street of the main bazaar, which is actually misleading because there's no main bazaar here. In fact, there are a series of shops, one after another, on this street. So if you are looking for Borneo souvenirs and handicrafts and textiles of the local indigenous people, they have a very special sewing technique, then you should come here. And there's also a textile museum here if you're interested about that sewing technique and the textiles of the local Sarawakian tribes. Well, as you can see now, almost everything is closed because it's Eid Mubarak. It's a Muslim holiday. That's why most of the shops are closed, but usually they are open. And also the buildings are very colorful and beautiful. That could be also reason to walk through this street, Jalan main bazaar. Tamil Indian traders settled in Kuching, and they constructed this mosque called Masjid India. It was constructed in 1836. I hope that you will apologize to me that I will not go inside now, because I'm not wearing a long jeans and because not so many tourists come here, they are not prepared with some kind of covers. There are some Muslim mosques which are visited by tourists many times, and then at the entrance you can borrow, it's like a skirt, some kind of cover, because you need to cover your knees. But well, I will tell you, this praying hall inside doesn't look like different than the mosques which we already visited in the previous vlogs, so it's fine. Actually, it's very rarely that the prayer hall and the inside of the mosque is richly decorated. Usually it's very simple. Exception is, for example, the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. It's very interesting that the mosque is built on stilts. Absolutely beautiful building from this angle. Very strange music in the background. This Sarawak river is much more wider than the Melaka river, which we saw in the Melaka vlog. This is the pedestrian mall, India Street. Well, I was a little bit confused because I found only one Indian shop inside. As you can also see, Lao Shen Chong, it's actually full with Chinese stores. But the gate is very beautiful, and I also like this roof architecture. This is the open air market food court. It's actually a misnomer because it's made up of a covered area. This is the place to come if you want to try traditional Malay and Chinese food, and also the market is made up of little stalls that focus on serving only one dish. Some of the highlights here include traditional beef noodles and the COB, which are juicy pork dumplings. It's not really crowded at 4 p.m. on Monday. I think usually it's more busy. This is the Masjid Bandaraya Kuching, the main mosque of Kuching, also known as Masjid Lama, which means the old mosque. The present structure was built in 1968 to replace an original wooden one built in 1855. It's best seen from the river. Its gilded cupolas make it one of the city's most striking landmarks, particularly at sunset.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah.
Now we will try the traditional Malay boat to cross to the other side. That's the tambang. It cost only 1 ringgit.
Oke, terima kasih kepada anda semua yang mula bantuan. Sebentar lagi kita akan menggerakkan tabung abang alien kita dari meja ke meja. Sepulang kepada pengurusan anda tentang keelasan hati anda mengulur bantuan kepada tabung bergerak kami. Oke, terima kasih. Wassalam. Selamat hari raya ada
This is exactly what I said, that in the afternoon the waterfront gets more lively, more people, also some live concerts. This is the hornbill fountain. It is a modern piece of art built to look like a hornbill, which is a medium to large tropical bird having a very large curved bill that typically has a large horny or bony casque. The male often seals up the female inside the nest hole. I wouldn't know that if I didn't make my notes, because it's a modern piece of art, but well, I cannot recognize any bird here. Kuching is also called the cat city. It is full with cat references and with cat statues. A lot of roundabouts have cat statue. It's absolutely funny. Well, actually I don't know the story behind which cat statue was the first or how does it started. That cat in the middle, it's 5 meters tall. Incredible. So you can find dozens of cat statues in Kuching, and also cat museum, which has much more cat statues and figures. This cat statue is dressed based on the current celebration. Now it got a tribal dress and also a hat. Very funny. Kuching, the cat city. This is the Jalan Pandungan, the Pandungan street. You can come here to admire the colorful and old buildings, but also for the very amazing Chinese food. You can find here a lot of Chinese restaurants and also Chinese shops. Let's focus on our trip today, which will lead us to the Bako National Park. It will be extremely amazing because we'll discover the local flora and fauna of the Borneo Island. Well, all these rivers are full with crocodiles. That's also a little bit dangerous, but yeah, let's hope that we will see as much as we can and discover some very interesting species of animals. This Bako National Park is the oldest one in the state of Sarawak, established in 1957, and also very huge. It's 27.27 square kilometers. It's 40 kilometers far from Kuching, which is the capital of Sarawak, so you can come here through some local tour companies or also hire your own car and come here, and then you need to take a boat anyway to get closer to this very beautiful national park. This is the sign about the danger regarding to crocodiles. Bako National Park is at the tip of the Muara Tebas Peninsula, at the mouth of the Bako and the Kuching rivers. At the entrance of the Bako National Park we can also find a very nice beach. But you cannot swim here because it's full of crocodiles, as I already mentioned in the beginning of the vlog. But the view is absolutely amazing, so it's worth to come here, take some photos. Nice secluded beach. There are many hiking trails. We are going to this one, to the Pandan Kechil, to the beach. 2.6 kilometers, it's like 1.5 hours. It's not an easy climb, but there are some stairs which are helping. We should wonder about the jungle vegetation around us. Absolutely amazing.
We only have 2 full days here and then we go.
Oh, you're going back tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're flying
tomorrow
out
we
tomorrow
go
morning.
to Penang. Oh, Penang. Okay,
We're trying to do a lot of things, so
on a few days.
It's not an easy hike, that's for sure. I saw one Bornean long-nosed monkey, the proboscis, but it was too far. I couldn't take a recording of it. It was too difficult to capture it. So I'm sorry that we couldn't spot any species of wildlife yet, but there is still hope.
It's pitcher plant. Have you seen one? They eat insect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We find different kind of vegetation during the hike, so that's also why it's advisable to take this yellow one. At the end of the hiking trail we have an absolutely amazing view. Millions of years of erosion of the sandstone have created a coastline of steep cliffs, rocky headlands and stretches of white sandy bays. Wave erosion at the base of the cliffs have carved many of the rocky headlands and to fantastically shape the sea arches and the sea stacks, which are colored by iron deposition. There's also the most famous, which you can see there. It's shaped like a cobra's head, which can be spotted on a boat ride, and we hope to get there.
Where does it take us now? We're going back. But
This is the cobra's head.
really.
Small fisherman village. Unfortunately, we couldn't see any animals. Well, probably because there are too many tourists and they chase them away. Well, actually, I wanted to see the Bornean bearded pig. That's a very funny animal. I will paste here a photo from the Wikipedia. This animal is usually at the beach, but well, we couldn't spot it. That's very unfortunate. You need to be lucky to find these animals during this hiking, but well, we were not so lucky today. But at least I could see the proboscis monkey. It was too far to capture it. This time we will visit the Sarawak cultural village. Many tribes were living in Borneo, and this living museum showcases the traditional buildings of these tribes. So it will be like a time travel, because we'll go back when these tribes were existing and they were wearing their traditional clothes. And we'll also watch a very beautiful show, a dance show, when they wearing these traditional dresses. Well, it is a very long performance. It is like 45 minutes or maybe more, so I will just give you a teaser about it. This is the Melanau tall house. Melanau is also a tribe from Borneo. Absolutely amazing. It's really tall, really high. You can see the stilts. Actually, there are some stairs built for the tourists, but the people of the tribe used this very steep stairs over there. You can imagine how difficult it was to climb there, but probably they were used to it.
Summer.
对啊，在我边慢慢来哦。
你记着左右左左，one two jump jump, one two jump jump, one two jump jump.
我
Just like clinic, if people got clinic, you see the shaman there.
Looks like a voodoo altar. Amazing. The museum is quite far from the city of Kuching, so I wanted to add as a travel advice that you can take a shuttle bus 2 times in a day from the Grand Margarita Hotel. Now let's admire the amazing dance show performed by the locals, who are also wearing their traditional clothes. This is the traditional house of the Orang Ulu tribe. Absolutely amazing. I feel like I went back in time 2-3 centuries and I can explore the island of Borneo with its culture. Really authentic. And well, they used these stilts also to protect the house from flooding. You know that in Borneo it rains a lot, so of course it was a lot of flooding, and this was also like a fortress actually, protecting the house from the attacks of enemies. It was not easy to climb there, of course. They could protect themselves much better if they use such a tall house with these stilts, and the decoration of the stilts also very beautiful. These were the traditional stairs. It's not easy to climb. Behind me you can see the traditional house of the Iban tribe. They were headhunters, and it was a big prestige who can gain more skulls, and this was like a tradition between the Iban warriors. Well, this headhunting was of course banned after the Second World War. Well, I think actually that was already a little bit too late to ban this habit, but anyway, it's a very interesting fact. And because of that, Sarawak was also named the land of headhunters. Usually such a Iban longhouse, this is how it is called, hosted more than 50 families, and they were related by blood, marriage. They also had a shared corridor where they discussed the social matters, and well, they were celebrating together, cooking together. I think they had a very happy life. This Iban longhouse also had a head, a chief, that was the Tuai Rumah, and this was decided based on voting. Each family member could vote, and well, after the death of the Tuai Rumah, then they voted the new chief, and after this Tuai Rumah gathered the people together and they were discussing social matters and stuff, they also reported to the Pengulu. Pengulu was the head of more Iban longhouses. They were hanging the skulls here. We can find one. Very scary. But fortunately it's dark enough so we cannot see it better. And there is also a monkey skull. Crazy.
Years old already, but this my grandfather make 3 pieces.
Oh wow!
This one is heavy for the spin long. This size only for hit knock and then the top. Sometimes you make from the softwood, maybe stop your break and then you take the new one again. So one man maybe 3 pieces stop. You finish 3 pieces, one man out the competition. So one team is 3 and 4 men like this. So the competition fighting, they give the sharp the metal. You see, there's many scratch. This one is 30 years old already. Me make. That one is my grandfather make. Yeah, not put metal, only the wood.
Only wood.
Only wood and plastic. Yeah. This one is from the West Malaysia. The call is Kelantan. The top is from the Kelantan. This is Borneo top, only wood. The Kelantan, because they are not heavy the wood, they take the like what is called ting, alloy. Timah, betul tak? Di tengah ni kayu. So di bahagian tepi ni timah. 1 kilo 200 gram heavy. Sometimes they take to 1 kilo 300 gram like this. 1 kilo and a half like this. So the starting, you rotten it, you put the small finger. Have a seat first, it's okay. Come, have a seat. I show you. So you cannot play this part. You can play this part. Easy. But this one is only the expert man that can play this part. Like okay, so you right-handed, you put the small finger, last finger. Okay, pinky. Apa yang Chinese cakap ini Mandarin? No, lupa saya. Which? Okay lah. Kalau tangan kiri pun sama juga, you masuk small finger lah. So kalau tangan kanan pun sama. Okay, starting you give the rope short. You put your palm hand the rod like this, and then you give the shot. So easy to you tie. Okay, first you right-handed, you start from anti-clockwise. Starting you give must tie. Like that. Second, again, not lose the string. So you follow, give the string finish first. Like that. Until rope finish, you put the two bottom and first grip here the string, two finger lock the string like that. Okay. So your position is like Kung Fu style. This is Malay like silat. Okay, silat like Tai Chi style. Okay. Just throw 1, 2. Okay. You tilt lah. So the go to the clay. You can pick it up slowly. Put the flat part. This size can last spin 5 minutes, depend the man throw. But you take the big one, long spin. So today Malaysian record 1.5 hours the last spin. So they take 1 kilo and a half. Big one. The shape is very flat, like this, like Kelantan. These are from the Kelantan. Borneo only wood. Okay, one more time. Are you ready to try? You can try.
What is your higher time?
Yeah.
What is the
Oh,
highest?
me record. I 5 minutes, 7 minutes. But because I cannot play the big one, because my hand is not good, already cracked. Put the aluben. I don't know lah. This a doctor put the many. Yeah, accident.
Wow. Oh, scorpion. Wow.
Apa dia? Kasih dia lari saja. Oh, dia suka tempat sejuk. Dia masuk sana.
What is this? 보다 나 내가跳出一个 scorpion.
And who wins the competition?
Yeah.
Who wins the competition?
Who wins the competition?
Competition.
Yeah. What is it about?
The first challenge, Group A and Group B challenge the spin long. So your team is Group A, you win the spin, and then my team is lose the spin. Your team first knock my toe. Yeah, hit your toe. Until you make from the softwood. One hit, the referee got 2 points. One you hit, give the stop, another team the top. You can spin, referee give 2 points. You got one team is 3 men, you got 6 points. Until second team, your friend knock my top, miss, and then you give the referee give the point, you point 6, and then give the another team 1 point, and then 3 challenge 3. So you many point, maybe 1 hour like this, half an hour. You many point like call is 300 plus like this. You point this, you win.
Okay.
And then you challenge another team the group. So you top and you make from the softwood the top 1 and 2 times I hit the top. Your top is break. You take the new one the top.
Oh.
So one man is 3 pieces top. Spare is 2. 1 to play. Finish 1 and then second finish. Break again. Third break. 1 man out a competition. 2 challenge 3 men.
Oh.
Like that. This is a competition.
It is made from iron wood. It's unbreakable. 30 years
So
old.
you put the wood, you put the metal.
The house of the Bidayu tribe. This is also a Bidayu house, used moreover for celebrations. Traditional Malay house, built on stilts. Amazing wooden architecture. Impressive colors.
Chinese cat itu pakai rice flour. Itu green bean punya. Itu cetak atas itu aja.
Oh. Betul-betul ada gula ke?
Mana dapat guna itu? Beras
Sekarang
dia kayu.
ada plastik dah.
Ada plastik tu.
It's a cookies.
This is a Bidayu bridge made out of bamboo. The big one. think it's not easy to cross. The Penang people were one of the last remaining indigenous groups. While a minority retained traditional nomadic ways, most have settled down and adopted modern clothing with less attention paid to traditional hairstyles, dangling earlobe modification and traditional rattan bangles. This is their hut. This is a Penang hut. Traditional instrument called sape, what you can see now. Very beautiful, decorated. The Sarawak cultural village is located at the foot of Mount Santubong. Extremely amazing view. Typical Chinese farmhouse. Mostly can be found at the countryside. Now we visit the Semengo Wildlife Sanctuary, and here we can spot semi-wild orangutans. Wow. Wow, amazing.
Oh, look at his head. There's some more.
Took apple.
Another two. Adam.
These orangutans were rescued from captivity, or they were orphaned, and they were saved by the wardens of this park. After that, the wardens really trained them to live in the wildlife. So after they are prepared, they are released in the forests. So actually this natural park is a huge forest where a lot of orangutans live, and usually they feed themselves in the forest. But there's a feeding time, actually 2 times in a day, between 9 AM and 10 AM, and between 3 PM and 4 PM. This is the time ranges when usual tourists come here, and the park rangers prepare bananas and milk and apples for the orangutans, and then the tourist can also spot these very beautiful creatures. Well, there's also a possibility that they don't show up if they got enough food in the forest. You can imagine that this is like a very huge natural reserve, natural park with a very huge forest, and these orangutans can roam free there, and they just show up sometimes, and because they were raised by human, they call it like a semi-wild orangutans.
You know someone coming in. Eating sugar cane.
Okay, kato. Last to. Hi, ma.
Of course there are some rules. These are orangutans and not just small monkeys, so I need to take care.
Ada yang hilang sampai 3 tahun, 4 tahun, 7 tahun dia tak balik.
Cách chỗ với nào?
The name. Oh. Yes, the name of farmer. Okay. The big one is Ganya. Ganya. This is Mas is the granddaughter one. Yeah. This morning was it? This morning Siduku was here. They take pictures to and they go in there. So Siduku have son in America. One son. Malaysia doesn't do any food. Have you come to these places? Yeah, you come once. Maybe in August or September. Because Madam Yang is pregnant. We have a pregnant mother now.
Oh, wow.
Big boss. This is our big boss here. Yeah.
How old?
24. Come.
Is that a baby?
Yeah. That baby just 2 months old.
Oh.
Baby, hold on. Oh my god.
That is our big boss.
That one?
Yeah. Anwar.
That's one. The big boss.
You dropped the banana.
It's good because maybe they will come down to pick it up.
Big crocodiles there, right?
There's no more crocodile. We already donate them to our zoo. We really want the alpha male and Oke, Datuk balik terus. Apa mau dimin ayah? Pisang ke apa kan? Okay, we saw one of our rangers saw Sudoku up there. Turun, ayo.
Hasil itu ya.
Well, if you are a tourist who seeks a real adventure, then you can travel 271 kilometers far from Kuching and you will arrive to Batang Ai, and there you can spot real wild orangutans. Well, this was an absolutely amazing experience. I never saw orangutans from such a close range.
Are you serious? You haven't put in the baggage?
Unfortunately, we will miss from this vlog the Satang Turtle Island boat trip. I really wanted to go there because we can see a lot of turtles, and not just that, we can also snorkel and swim. Well, Bako, it's not suitable for swimming. Also this river, which is behind me, it's full with crocodiles. So yeah, actually that island is almost like the only option here in Sarawak. Well, there are also some secluded beaches. It's very difficult to get there. So yeah, it was really my purpose to get to Satang Island, but it will not happen. Well, I tell you as a travel advice what you should consider if you come to Sarawak. You can book online this trip, but as you know, I am a solo traveler, and you can book only for 2 persons, and it was already 375 ringgit, which is kind of expensive. It's like 80-90 US dollars. And when I clicked on the date to book this trip before actually I arrived here to Kuching, then it asked to pay the double price because you can only book for 2 people. Well, in these cases usually I just arrive to my destination and I try to contact some local tour companies. Usually they're also more cheaper, and well, you can join some other tourist groups. Actually, I forgot that there is also Eid Mubarak. I landed on Saturday evening, and of course the tour companies were closed already, and on Sunday and on Monday everything was closed, also a lot of restaurants, because of Eid Mubarak, the Muslim celebration. And well, I just went Tuesday to a tour company, and there was like a Chinese girl, and she was not so polite with me. She said, "Oh sir, this is a very last minute requirement, maybe we cannot find for you a trip." And said, "Okay, but were you opened in the last days?" And then she said, "Ah, yeah, we were not open." So yeah, last minute, but when should I book it? I came there Tuesday morning and I wanted to book for Wednesday, and actually I'm leaving on Thursday, so that was the only option. And well, she said she needs to make some phone calls, and in the end she said there is no tourist group for me to join. There will be only a private tour, and I need to pay like 1,250 ringgit, which is like more expensive than what I saw online already, and that's for 2 persons. And I said, "No, I'm alone, I just want to join other tourist group," and she said this is not possible. So I just let it go. It's fine. Maybe next time if I come to Malaysia, somehow I will try to include this through my trip. And yeah, it is complicated. So well, if you're traveling with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or I don't know, with some other friends or group, it's maybe much easier, but I still think that 375 ringgit, it's very expensive. But as you can see, the local tour company just I don't double the price, but maybe this is also because she said to me it's last minute booking, so probably they tried to scam me and charge me more, but I don't let that happen. So this was the travel film about Kuching and Sarawak. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if that's so, please subscribe to my channel if you didn't do it yet. It's very important to push on the bell icon, because this is how you get notified about the new contents. Have a nice day and goodbye.